And it is BO3 with random maps. It definitely is. So we're gonna be starting with the first game of the quarterfinals of the DM one-day Smurf tournament hosted by Rich. And what are we gonna be having this time? Apparently Tundra. And the gods are going to be Thor and Set. Oh well, Set. Now that's a god we haven't seen yet. We have seen Isis. Thor is definitely quite a favorite, it seems like, for NerfNorse. And I kind of wondering if he's having some kind of idea. Or if they have an idea who the other players could be. You can see, of course, Shifting Sands. I mean, like, I can imagine Shifting Sands being fairly influential, but you have one use. So you better make damn sure that you know what you're gonna be doing with it. And are well prepared for it. Because I can really imagine to be extremely powerful. I mean, like, you can be just jumping from battlefield somewhere in the middle, somewhere all the way to the top on the town center and completely deny it. And just basically win the game from that. So I'm thinking it might be fairly influential god power. You can see Sekhmet with the extra population limit onto the Citadel, and there's nothing changed in DM. It's also fairly nice. And we have already seen how Scary is powerful with her Frost. So yet again, it's gonna be on NerfNorse trying to go forward with a bit of fun. You can see that the walls are having quite a high range, so therefore JoePass should be seeing this. It's obviously a bit unfortunate for NerfNorse, but yeah, well played so far by him. As obviously he's gonna be protecting this TC to the bottom, and that will be making for quite a solid trade route. Unless, of course, NerfNorse is gonna be yet again denying it, and he definitely is. And that's kind of like a bit of a part of the game of DM. That basically you are playing on revealed map. So this is not anything like Observer that we see in everything. They're playing on revealed map DM. That's something that maybe if you are not familiar with the game mode, not gonna be knowing. And that's basically letting them know exactly where everything is. And that's why NerfNorse is able to so confidently go for blocking of the trade route, for example, on the other side of the map. So that's something you need to be really keeping in mind when the decisions are made. Because if you were having same as Supremacy, being completely blind, then you would have to be scouting for it. It will be something different, of course, but at the same time you need to be recognizing the fact that basically the game begins at minute 1, some first fights even. And therefore, if you would be going for the wrong side, basically, then you could be really screwing the game over for yourself rather massively in the very first minute of the game, and that's usually not all that much of a fun. So that's why they are probably playing on revealed mostly. And Pefimoso, yeah, the original Age of Empires 1 and even 2 music is rather excellent. Definitely. Why I'm also using it, because it's quite nicely thematic. It's not something that's gonna be invoking, or of course, some copyright problems and strikes and everything along those lines. So well, all the way to the left though, this is gonna be JoePass already moving forward to deny. Right now the build up all the way to the left, because obviously he's well aware he's gonna be needing all that gold. So otherwise he's gonna be actually moving for both trades or both TCs at the same time. It's gonna be the same for NerfNorse. So this is quite a bit of a different dynamic than what we have seen in the previous games. I mean, like in those games, NerfNorse was definitely going quite quickly on his opponent, on the Isis. Or even on the Greek in the very last game. But this time he seems to be going a whole lot more carefully. And it almost seems that he's kind of fully realizing that who he's gonna be right now playing against now is gonna be quite a skilled player, and therefore he better be playing it a bit more carefully and cautiously. You can see, yeah, this is gonna be an interesting idea. Fortunately not working all that well, as there's gonna be the toothed arrows for the better archer ballista. Hero Ballista pierce damage, it's quite a nice one, as the build up on the left is right now gonna be gone, and there is a solid victory right now for JoePass, and it might be exactly the difference from the last game that we have seen, as well, there it definitely cost the Greek the game, the difference in the trade, whereas here for the Egyptian it's gonna be extremely important, as we have seen in the Oasis game, for example, between Sensui, my boy, and I am atrocious. And well, with the town centers being done for both sides, we are heading into the proper kind of like late game and a bit of an economical building time, and especially about like the trade building time. You can see us getting, of course, the market number 1 and number 2. Have to be careful so that he doesn't build 2, because if he would be going for the back one, then he would be obviously having quite a bit of a inefficiency problem with a bit of bumping. Also on the way with JoePass getting the relic exactly as you're talking, and in the end this build up is not gonna be working out and lasting for too long. There's gonna be right now the extra hit points, or the extra hit points, extra population limit coming for the safe fun. Doesn't want to be basically increasing defense in the front, and it's making pretty good sense, because he really wants to be getting the extra population out of it rather than the hit points and the defense, as the town center can be potentially retaken if things go somehow south for him a bit. And well, here we are, gonna be looking at apparently at quite a lot of rhinos also. Don't seem to be exactly working all that well, but also not too badly, because it's still 270 hit points at quite a decent armor, 37% into melee, and about like 40 something it was on the piercing there. So they are quite nice tanks, before potentially gonna be getting some more elephants into the battle. So yeah, of course, quite a bad path in here, unfortunately getting a bit clocked. He needs to be taking care of that, that's a problem. Because the units cannot actually go through all that efficiently. As yet again, Boxwager are making quite a bit of an appearance here. And they are gonna be one of the powerhouses in the battle, because so far in all the games that we have seen them, they're actually really damn good. Like, really damn good, because they have quite nice stats. I mean, like, they are Hillfort units, so they are supposed to be strong and everything, but question is, maybe they aren't maybe a bit too strong, who knows. But yeah, well, hopefully the balance specials are well aware of their powers, and therefore they are also knowing what exactly is going on with them. But at the same time, yeah, there have been some talks, and that I've noticed today, and also a bit before, that maybe the Norse are kinda powerful, and this might be actually quite a legitimate reason. Because really the Boxwager are filling a bit of a, like, maybe potentially weak spot for the Norse. That is obviously the spot that you should be trying to abuse with you, with the other civilizations when you are playing against them. And if you basically just plug it like that, by such a powerful unit on top of it, then you can be definitely quite arguing that maybe something is going to be having to give to make the game a bit more balanced. But so far, they seem to be playing just fine. The Norse are not any kind of assured win. Obviously, the Egyptians are gonna be having quite a good chance, maybe on the market there. But apparently, NerfNorse was continuing with the wall-in, just trying to deny it as much as possible with the champion Axeman. Right now, trying to counter that yet again, and he really needs to be finishing with the wall-in. He really does, because as soon as he is gonna be able to do so, then the trade is gonna be a whole lot safer. And maybe, looking at the advance on the right flank, maybe he could be even denying the enemy trade. Okay, that seems to be looking kind of funny. Now, we are having a bit of a scrappy game right now on our hands. Thank you very much for the flow shocks a bit earlier. So yeah, well, hope you're gonna be enjoying some DM today here on the stream from the one-day tournament hosted by I'm Rich. So again, thank you very much for doing such things for the community. So apparently this is gonna be a bit of a surprise attack from the right flank, but at the same time it's also a surprise attack from JoePass here, as he's trying to push forward, and so far rather confidently and competently, as it seeming to me that NerfNorse might be falling prey to exactly what he was trying to do. And that's basically stopping the trade. But now let's look at the resources. Wow, it's a lot of wood for JoePass still. Whereas NerfNorse is growing kinda low. They do have very similar as far as the gold here. That's actually fairly curious in there. Otherwise, obviously, JoePass can be selling about like 2 million wood, so you can be getting plenty of gold if he needs to. Okay, this trade is not gonna be established all that well, but I'm kinda getting slightly worried for him, because he hasn't established it yet. He's right now dropping, I know the first markets, we had already 7.5 minutes, and he's gonna be starting with it. And all the way to the left, that's gonna be some kind of, oh, not successful. Get the army in there already spent by JoePass, just basically making sure this is gonna be standing, or, oh, he actually missed each other, or they miss each other. No, and having the obelisk in the middle, that's not entirely the bestest of ideas. You got 65 hit points, that's gonna be down almost immediately. So in the middle of the battle is in a bit of a stalemate. And I'm really feeling that this is gonna be yet again heading into what we have seen in the last game. And therefore, who is gonna be having the better trade? And so far it seems to me that it might be the Egyptian, even though with that Ursak right now sneaking through and getting through the obelisk, yeah, that was just a terrible idea to begin with. To be trying to prompt the wall by that, he's gonna be probably able to finish with this fully, and therefore the trade might not be even beginning all that well. Okay, right now he's gonna be noticing this. Now the villages are also coming forward, so all the way to the right flank there's a bit of an attempted wall in, bit of a long term by JoePass, but so far doesn't seem that blue will be able to actually get there. As you can see, some catapults eating population limit, unfortunately, with the LEs coming forward and a few more different units, like for example the Rams, also attempted by NerfNorse, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get through with only the Rams. And the Ballistae, with that absolutely massive, humongous 30 range, they're gonna be able to shoot all across the map, like basically all across the whole screen at this point. And definitely getting quite a bit forward and further. He may be trying to claim the ground right next to the TC, because it's dangerously close here. He's gonna right now freezing all the alleys and everything. So let's see if this is gonna be the time he's gonna be able to push through. He doesn't have too many siege. That's maybe a bit of a problem. He's having plenty of archers. Not entirely all that ideal, but at the same time he's gonna be having the trade already. Needs to be just finishing with the wall in there a bit better. You can see all the catapults there on the left side as well. Now, it seems that the trade here is gonna be working for JoePass as well. He's not able to block it fully yet with the wall in, but the Migdol is gonna be going a long way towards securing this part of the map. You can see, for example, the watchtower there. Good attempt, not entirely gonna be finishing up, as the frost is almost running out right now at 10 seconds also left, and only one hill fort gone. That does not seem that it was all that worthwhile, frankly. Not really thinking so all that much. And thank you Mayweather versus Pacquiao for the follow here. Hope you're gonna be having some good fun with the DM and the tournament. Well, I know that you are a DM player, right? So you're probably gonna be enjoying those games here and able to tell quite a bit by what is going on the map and on the battlefield. Now, so otherwise on the left side, there's gonna be some kind of push forward finally by JoePass, and he's gonna be plugging the hole exactly as he should have done a bit before. So that also means that the trade is gonna be fairly secure. I don't think there's any kind of hole necessarily. So it's probably gonna be quite secure at this point for the time being. Whereas there's a continued push by JoePass all the way to the right flank against the markets. And yeah, there's gonna be a stop trade. Looking at the resources, the gold is not extremely high for red or for blue, but he can still sell about like 8,000 wood if he needs to. So he can basically in clutch, can be getting plenty of gold immediately. Whereas NerfNorse is not in that situation. You can see he's right now running low on resources, basically all of them. And if that trade is gonna be right now immediately stopped, then yeah, there's a bit of an opportunity to be gained for JoePass and maybe break through with some better and more powerful and much more importantly more units. Because so far, for example, for the set, that extra population limit seems to be working kind of alright as well. He's not able to use it fully, but it's alright, and so it's gonna be ready to part now. Also coming forward with that, and he's gonna be trying to cast a tornado and the shifting sands. That's what I was waiting for. For the shifting sands to be exactly used this way, as he's gonna be battling into the middle. Do you remember what we were talking about? That's exactly what we were mentioning that could happen. It's gonna be TC gone, but at the same time it's also gonna be Rack coming forward from the other player. So how many do we have? 77, and we do have some caravans, so like 70 Rack, let's say. And we have seen that it actually worked really well in that game on Oasis. So let's see if this time it's gonna be also something rather viable for NerfNorse. And Krashan, does your opponent also see your foundations on the minimap on revealed? I don't think so. No. You are basically just seeing the map revealed like this, but you don't see the foundations there. We are seeing this only because we are observers, so we are seeing double. Basically the point of view of both players combined. But nope, you don't see that. You really do not. But nonetheless, it's gonna be right about now in the middle, bit of an interim. Bit interesting that JoePass is not trying to push forward here, because obviously he does have a bit of an edge, but he also needs to be establishing some extra wall in. Protecting the trade on the left side, that's definitely correct. And does he have still forest fire? Yes, he does. Oh well, that's very well actually thought through, because he can be right now, for example, burning through the trees and getting exactly into the market. Man, that would be such a nice tactical use of the forest. Please do so, that would be awesome and excellent in every kind of way that I can imagine for me. As NerfNorse is gonna be dropping the markets, obviously, in the middle, nothing much going on. As so far, the army for red is kinda used for basically building up a few fortresses and everything along those lines. As obviously, the trade is gonna be the only economy for him for the time being. So let's see if we can be kinda having it go, at least for the time being, can see. Yeah, this is not gonna be giving him anything at all. But obviously just waiting here before he's gonna be having the markets through bottom. Already can be switching it. As the tornado is up, gonna be right now eating those two hill forts. And it's obviously quite a bit of an interesting decision. Maybe you could be thinking, why not cast it onto TC, but he needs to be getting rid of the military buildings. As the extra population limit is sweet, but right now he fully realizes that red is gonna be having issue with population limit, as there's gonna be the forest fire cast to get rid of this path here, or rather open this path rather, and get rid of the wall in there. Bit interesting that the walls are actually not getting burned. But well, nonetheless, he's gonna be looking into the trade right now being gone pretty much, and he's gonna be having to switch potentially to the top side, which is gonna be a bit challenging. I'm kinda slightly curious why actually red hasn't walled it off. Maybe he was thinking that this is going to be basically it and complete victory. So far right now blue is having tons of resources. He just doesn't mind at this point. He has played it so far really well. And is kind of full control of the game, has to be said. As the TC right now gone is gonna be a huge issue for NerfNorse, as he can be potentially getting the resources for it, sure. Buying a bit of wood, selling a bit of food, that's alright. But spending all the army on it, not sure. He right now still is above population limit quite massively, even above 3 TCs. But it's not gonna be getting all that much better. So yeah, gonna be going for the TC or not? So far doesn't seem so, as JoePass is so far having quite an excellent gold still. You can see there's gonna be a bit of gold right now for it, at least for the time being. With the market, yep, that's definitely not gonna be working all that gloriously for right now blue player, but he doesn't exactly mind all that much. He can be just going, for example, for market there, exactly. You can see it is still about like 23 gold, not that awesome. Not that awesome, but not terrible. Not great, not terrible. As those of you who have actually watched the TV series Chernobyl will be knowing. Yeah, well, didn't exactly prove to be so in the real life, right? But hopefully here it's gonna be going slightly better for the Eggy. Looking at the resources, he really is not in any kind of trouble or anything at all. He's having quite a lot of stockpile, he's still gathering plenty of gold all across the map. You can see, for example, even still having the sheep all the way to the back, obviously here. With plenty of random units, he could be doing something with that. Maybe trying to finish the wall in, really kinda completely spam the map here, but he also needs to be getting rid of the walls here in the middle, because he seems to be trying to establish secondary trade route, if it's gonna be working for him. And he kinda definitely should. Only 45 gold, he's going to the wrong TC, right? He's going to this TC instead of the back one. I'm thinking he is, he deleted the market there. Gonna mess that up. Could be getting a whole lot more gold. Right now he's moving at least around all the way to the top one, but I'm thinking he has already actually switched it over. It's gonna be called to GG, as Norse doesn't exactly see how he could be pushing forward through the middle, as he doesn't have enough resources or anything else to get the TC back up, and therefore JoePass is gonna be getting the game in quite a kinda like comfortable manner, has to be said. As while it might have seemed that he was getting pushed by the Norse here and there, for example on the trade on the left side, he was already having everything well prepared from before. So he was having like thousands of resources and thousands of golds, much more importantly, on his account. And he wasn't wasting units against the Ragnarok. So just kind of like well done. He's gonna be quite an expert player in there also, JoePass. But obviously we are in the quarterfinals already, with two best of all the groups advancing. So we can only right now guess that it's gonna be all competent players in the rest of the games. Now, okay, let's check into the post game at this point. We have resumed into the game room, so they can potentially start game number 2 if they want to. And here you can see JoePass. He's gonna be having massively better economy, right? Huh. Apparently not. They're having quite an equal economy. That's maybe a bit of a surprise. I was expecting he could be having slightly better one. As he seemed to have. He was building, for example, even the trade a bit faster. I kind of wonder if you can actually empower in DM the trade. Because we don't see that all that often. Actually, I haven't seen it yet, I think. So basically that to be giving you 20% more gold out of it. Huh. I wonder. I wonder if it's possible or not. Obviously it would be quite a bit of an edge. So I can be imagining if it's maybe not allowed in the DM patch. Otherwise, if you are gonna be looking for some information about the DM patch, then head to Woobly, or in the chat you can be typing !DM and you're gonna be redirected to RTS-Sanctuary and information about the tournament. But otherwise the patch, you can find the info. You can see plenty of rhinos on Woobly in Age of Mythology and then into mods. And you're gonna be finding it in there. You can see about like 65 rec. Actually lower than I thought. I was thinking it's about like 70 plus. But nonetheless, we did manage to stop the trade, but it just wasn't something that's gonna be winning the game in there. So, GG.